President Biden is getting ready to leave Poland shortly after giving an impassioned speech there about Russia's invasion of Ukraine. He's framing this not as a fight between Russia and Ukraine, but a fight for democracy and liberty around the world. Former U.S. Ambassador to Poland, Daniel Fried, joins me now for more. Ambassador, thank you for being here. What stuck out to you most about the president's speech just now?
Well, the line everyone is speaking about is, for God's sakes, this man cannot remain in power, meaning Putin. That was powerful. But it also capped, I think, a day in which the human cost of Putin's war against Ukraine were made personally clear to President Biden. I don't know whether that line was in the prepared speech, but whether it was or not, the president spoke from the heart. That's one tagline. The overall thrust of the speech was to raise the stakes in Ukraine. This is not the speech of a president who's looking to cut a deal with President Putin. It's not the speech of someone who's trying to push the Ukrainians into giving up part of their territory to make this issue go away. This was the speech of somebody who's all in it to win it, short of direct U.S. involvement in the war. Powerful speech. Now, I should add, in my career, I'm retired now, but in my career, I prepared a number of presidential speeches in Warsaw. And I would have been proud to have participated in this one. The opening line, quoting John Paul II, "Be not afraid," that's important. That means, at least as I see it, that President Biden was talking about freedom and the human spirit over the long haul, overcoming dictators, which I think was the point of his framing of the speech.
How has the relationship between the U.S. and Poland evolved over the last month?
Poland and the United States are now allies in wartime. The war hasn't come to either country, but Poland is on the frontier of war. This was a wartime summit. President Biden talked about democratic values. The president of Poland, Andrzej Duda, has made a number of really good decisions in recent months. President Duda resolved one major issue of freedom of media when he vetoed a rather ill-considered law that would have targeted an American-owned TV network in Poland. So President Duda has moved Polish politics in a centrist direction. And that meant it was a lot easier for President Biden to start talking about our common democratic fight of democracies against the Putin autocracy, thanks to President Duda. So this whole speech worked better and is a platform for what now needs to be an upgraded operational alliance with Poland in a time of great danger to Europe.
And the president also had a very clear message when it came to the U.S. obligation to NATO. I want to play that moment of the speech and get your reaction to it.
The reason we want to make clear is their movement on Ukraine don't even think about moving on one single inch of NATO territory. We have sacred obligation. We have a sacred obligation under Article 5 to defend each and every inch of NATO territory with the full force of our collective power.
What did you make of that response? You know, this isn't a secret. It's already been made clear that Article 5 exists and that will hold to it. So why do you think the president felt the need to state this so clearly in this speech?
You're right. This isn't new, but it was important to repeat this in Poland. Poland's exposed. They could be hit. I just came back from Warsaw. I was there earlier this week. The Poles are aware that they are a potential target. I mean, think about it. They are the base of operations for the military supplies pouring into Ukraine. They could be attacked. They know it. And so the president absolutely needed to say this. The Poles are exposed, and Putin's propaganda machine has been threatening Poland in recent days. I mean, rather nasty stuff. So I think the president needed to make this point, and I think he made it well.
And Poland, as we know, is also home to the majority of refugees that have escaped Poland. Over 2 million of them are estimated to be in Poland, of the roughly 3.5 million that have left the country so far. And President Biden also spoke to that. He said, we will not cease the efforts to get humanitarian relief wherever it is needed in Ukraine and for the people who have made it out of Ukraine, notwithstanding the brutality of Vladimir Putin. So what do you think about the U.S. assistance so far on this front? And how hard is it to get aid into hard-hit areas of Ukraine right now?
I think the humanitarian assistance is still flowing into Ukraine, as are the weapons. I think Putin will try to shut this down, but that's easier said than done. And by the way, you're right. There are over 2 million Ukrainians in Poland, and the vast majority have been taken in by Polish families, homes. It's a national movement in Poland to take in Ukrainians and to support them. The government has the right policies, but this is being driven by people. Friends of mine in Poland are bringing in strangers from Ukraine into their homes. This is a common thing. People are doing it, and they're doing it because, as my Polish friend said, that used to be us. They know what this is about. So Poland is sort of nationally mobilized to help Ukraine. It's an inspiring sight.
All right, former U.S. Ambassador to Poland, Daniel Fried. We appreciate your time today. Thank you.
Thanks for having me.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.